Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, here to cover an absolutely awesome Steam game deal under the price of $2. This is a tremendous deal, and there's a lot of great deals running right now on Steam. You know, a little bit before the winter sale, I was about to say summer sale, a little bit before the winter sale kicks off, we've got a lot of publishers bringing out the heavy hitters as far as deals are concerned, I guess. Game Awards going on, a lot of deals running. It's the holiday season, people feeling festive, but we're gonna highlight a great deal on a great game under $2. We've got a sale for that developer as well, a developer sale, and then we've got a ton of other deals to go over as well. Just a lot of really good stuff. So let's just get right into it. Historic low deals, everything like that. You guys know the deal. SOMA is 95% off for $1.49. This is a tremendous deal on an excellent psychological horror game, which, by the way, they've announced a spiritual successor to SOMA. This is one that got lost in the shuffle a little bit. Ontos, I believe. It's O-N-T-O-S. My apologies if I butchered the pronunciation, but that game was revealed, and it's coming out in 2026. That's the best thing I like to hear from a show like the Game Awards. You know, none of this nonsense with, like, the Old Republic game that's gonna come out, you know, by the time I'm 70. SOMA and its spiritual successor, I should say, Ontnos, will be coming out next year. SOMA, on the other hand, if you have yet to play it, it's 95% off as a part of the Frictional Games developer sale. $1.49 for SOMA, which, again, is an excellent deal. More of a psychological, methodical horror game. It's not action heavy whatsoever, but it's one of those games that kind of wants to make you feel powerless, so to speak, and I feel like as far as horror games go, that works really well. Obviously, I like the Resident Evil games and whatnot that are a little bit more action heavy. Resident Evil 4 is literally one of my favorite games of all time, but SOMA, for the style of horror game that it is, I think it works really well. 22,000 Steam user reviews, overwhelmingly positive reception with 95% positive reviews, and visually, I feel like it still holds up pretty well because of the style and the art direction the game went with. Just a really solid game, and it's not super lengthy, you know, in an era of a lot of 50-hour open world games, 80-hour open world games. Sometimes you need a game that you can just get in, have a compelling experience, and by the end, move on, but it's a worthwhile game that'll stick with you for a while. I think SOMA is exactly that. So definitely, for $1.49, that's a tremendous deal. And like I said, we do have the Frictional Games publisher sale, developer sale, excuse me, the Frictional Games developer sale. A lot of good deals as a part of that. Amnesia the Bunker at a historic low price point as well at $3.74. That's a tremendous deal for Amnesia the Bunker. Definitely would recommend that. That's a game that's also incredibly well received. Let's look at that game's Steam reception. 5,500 reviews, 94% positive, so just shy of overwhelmingly positive, but the recent reviews actually have it at overwhelmingly positive with 95% positive reviews. A first-person horror game set in a World War I bunker. A relentless AI-driven monster stalks you. Survival depends on finding tools, crafting items, and keeping the lights on. So that is a great deal. $3.74 for another horror game that was received incredibly well. Check that out. And on top of that, you've got Amnesia Rebirth, $5.99 on that. And of course, you've got Amnesia The Dark Descent, one of the most iconic horror games of all time. $3.99 on that. Amnesia Machine for Pigs, which I know not at the level of Dark Descent, but $3.99 on that. And then Penumbra. Penumbra's forgotten about a little bit, but $1.99 for Penumbra as well. Overture. Pretty good deal there. And again, they are working on Ontos, however you say it, but yeah, that'll be coming out in 2026, but excellent deal on SOMA. That's mainly the one I wanted to highlight out of the Frictional Game sale. But there are other deals running right now and historic lows. Lords of the Fallen, I did think it was going to end up being the Epic Game Store freebie. There were some rumblings of that. That was not the case, but it is at a historic low price point, 50% off for $14.99. Oh, and by the way, they did just drop the sizable version 2.5, the final major update. They also dropped the gameplay trailer for Lords of the Fallen 2, which I gotta say, that game kind of looks awesome. I did really like Lords of the Fallen. Now, I'm not a Souls-like guy, you know, I'm not the biggest guy as far as the Souls-like games. I'm not the person to meticulously break them down, but I did like the Realms gimmick of Lords of the Fallen. I thought that added an interesting layer. I thought the combat was pretty good. Performance was absolutely atrocious at launch, but it has gotten better. They have added a legacy mode, deadlier enemies, deadlier bosses, a veteran mode as well. The ultimate challenge is noted, a boss weapon reforge, and the add your boss battle, reworked following player feedback, and a lot of improvements, and so on and so forth. They've done a good job of continually updating Lords of the Fallen. 50% off for $14.99. Unfortunately, Lords of the Fallen 2 will be an Epic Game Store exclusive, at least initially. Honestly, it is so much of a head scratcher. Like, look, I like Lords of the Fallen, but let's be honest. How many people are going to jump on over to the Epic Game Store to play Lords of the Fallen? Like, is that going to happen, really? I don't know. I don't believe so, but who knows? I feel like Epic Game Store would know better than me, and the people running Epic Game Store would know better than me, but nonetheless, that is definitely going to stifle how many people are going to play the game. That's just the reality of going the EGS exclusive route, but for now, $14.99 for Lords of the Fallen. Good pickup there. Then we do have Ball X Pit. That is 20% off for $11.99, one of the breakout titles of 2025, and there's been a lot of games like this. A brick-breaking, ball-fusing, base-building, survival roguelite battle hordes of enemies with ricocheting balls and gather the riches of the pit to expand your homestead, generate resources, and recruit unique heroes as well. 9,900 reviews, overwhelmingly positive with 96% positive reception, and seeing a notable discount. I believe its first discount, it being 20% off for $11.99, so you can check that out. Then Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster is 50% off for $24.99. Personally, I don't think this is cheap enough yet, but this is a historic low price point. It is a remake of Dead Rising 1, so if you want to check that out, rumblings have it that there's a new Dead Rising in development as well. I would like to see Dead Rising Deluxe at like $14.99. I think it'll be a good pickup at that price point. Or, you know, I could very well see this being like a headlining humble monthly title at some point. So you might want to hold on that, but it is a historic low and there's fun to be had. Dead Rising's always a pretty good time, but yeah, there you go with that. And then I do want to give a shout finally to One Piece Odyssey. That is 63% off for $14.79. The deluxe edition with the DLC is $24. I will say, I thought One Piece Odyssey was a great turn-based JRPG, and if you know me, I'm not a big One Piece guy. I'm not watching 900 episodes. Ain't nobody got time for that. I actually think they're at like 1,100 episodes now. It's just when I was making the jokes about not watching One Piece, it was always, I ain't watching 900 episodes, but I'm pretty sure they're at like 1,100 now or something like that. It's crazy, but One Piece Odyssey as a game, I really did enjoy. I thought it was a well-done RPG. Now, the gimmick about this game is that you go back in iconic moments of One Piece, and it's changed up a little bit, but if you're a One Piece fan, I feel like this game will resonate with you even more. But I had a really good time with it as a non-fan, and I still thought this was a really solid RPG. Like, just fundamentally, as an RPG, it's a well-done game, so I would definitely recommend that at $14.79. Think that's a great deal, and again, the deluxe edition is $24, a pretty good deal on that as well. So, would give a recommendation to One Piece Odyssey. Good pickup on that. I would probably just get the base game at $14.79, but you can do whatever you want to. But that is going to do it for me. Again, a lot of great deals available right now directly on Steam, but wanted to highlight for sure SOMA. I think that deal is absolutely outstanding, and a lot of other good deals available as well. The Ball X Pit deal, Lords of the Fallen, I think is a pretty good pickup, especially with version 2.5, and the deal on One Piece Odyssey is great as well. But that's going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, guys, there are going to be some great deals running. The winter sale is coming up, so honestly, a lot of these deals are going to carry right on over into the winter sale, so there's going to be options for you to pick up a lot of great stuff. So if you don't pick anything up now, not a big deal. A lot of these deals will roll right over into the winter sale. Some of the historic lows might not be at the same price points. Like SOMA, I don't foresee that game getting any cheaper, so if you want to pick up SOMA, I would say do it now for $1.49. I think that's a great deal. And some of the historic lows, they might bounce up a little bit in price. That's just, you know, be mindful of that. But some games will go down in price. It's just the nature of the beast. So be selective. Buy games that you're actually going to play. You guys know the deal. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.